Good morning. Hello. Happy Monday. Hope all of your weekends were really good. Sitsu, hello. How's your weekend? How are you doing today? And Dayloop, hello. How are you doing today? It's a lazy day. Lazy days are good, right? Yep, really needed the time off. Is that the time? I'm going pretty well. I instead of programming this weekend, which is what I had planned to do, sort of work on the LMS and get things fixed up. I had some friends over. We played some games. We did some art. I do not need that timer up. I should turn that off sooner than later. But yeah, we played some games, practiced some art, did some fun stuff like that. And then I spent some time playing around with Olama, trying to see if I can get the Olama to take a look at uh what is it called? The generated transcript of one of my YouTube videos, one of the VODs, and basically like come up with like interesting things, like summarize it, figure out what happened, like just trying to figure out like can I do that pretty easily. You expect I was drawing Ferris? No, I have an introduction to drawing book, so I was going through exercises with that. It's interesting which like different people were doing different things. So like one of my mentors was there. He does technical drawing sometimes every once in a while, and so he brought his really like fancy set of mechanical pencils that he uses, and then he basically recreated the art on one of his technical drawing books that he had. Yeah, it was basically a little party. Like we brought people together. We, had some terrible snacks for ourselves. Drank some beer. Um, and half of us did sort of like art drawing type things, and the other half played board games because there was too many of us to all play one board game. So that was that. And then after some people left and it was just two of us, the two of us paired on trying to get Olama to take a look at one of my transcripts, and that was fun, and we got it to basically not work properly. So there's still a lot for me to understand on like how that works, but I'm getting a little bit more information. I'm giving you post facto FOMO. I'm sorry. So let's see. Oh, and I also think that we had recorded on Friday the video for the headers lesson, right? I was gonna upload that, but then what I saw it in the OBS recordings folder without a label because I forgot to give it one, and then I think I just was really confused about what it was, and so I just deleted it. So I restored it right now. I want to take a look. Well, let's see. You can hear this, but you won't be able to see it because it's on the other screen. Okay, so open up web with media player.
Hello, and welcome to a lesson on headers.
Yes, okay, so I think that's correct. Jumping through it. That is a long lesson. It is like 45, 50 minutes or so. So let's rename you. Call this Axum headers. And now that I've gotten, now it's been so long, I can very easily upload this without any question. Okay, so you're going up, do your thing, go into that playlist. Next. Okay, no monetization. That stuff checks. Unlisted. Okay, we're good to go there. Let's see. Oh, I mentioned, okay, so on Discord, Unreal shared, might find this interesting. Code Raiders building advanced LM auto GPT chatbot with Rust. Ooh, okay, yeah, that could be a lot of fun. So I think that I learned that I'm running out of tokens. And at first I thought that tokens were just a thing that like ChatGPT was enforcing on, that like, hey, you know, ChatGPT for money is like, oh, you can only have like, you know, 1024 tokens or 2048 or something like that. He's working on it, making maybe a course coming out. You would enjoy watching that video to see what possible locally someday. Yeah, I definitely will add that to my list. That looks really cool. Also, hello Unreal. How are you doing today? So yeah, the at first I thought it was just like tokens were limited for ChatGPT and not something that would be locally. And I think what I discovered was that that's not the case. The locally, the it's also like tokens, and it really is based upon the amount, like how many tokens it's trained with. Apparently, is the limitation for how many tokens I can use as like a both like in the history and also in oh, what is it called, in the prompt. It's like sort of like together, like prompt and history are kind of the same thing, at least when you're like sending one-off requests to it. So I was just throwing in my entire chat history, and it was getting really confused and telling me like, hey, you're building something with what is it called, React. You're building this thing with React, which is like, oh, okay. I guess context size, I'll have to take a look at that, of whether or not I can like maybe change it a little bit more. But so I played around with the largest context size one that I could possibly do, which was a 70B. So 70 billion tokens that it's trained with, which means it was like 4092 or something like that, 4096. And that was like still a third of the tokens that are in one of my chat transcripts. So I cut that down by a third, and then it like properly summarized like what was in that third. So apparently passing in too many tokens gets you really weird results. So that's interesting. So I don't know if I can change the context size properly or not. I don't know. Let's see. Hope Zilby did okay with all the guests over. So yeah, Zilby was fine until everybody came. And so like once we had like 6 people or so, besides me and my wife, then it was Zilby was like, "Yep, I'm out of here. This is too loud, too many people, too interesting." But like before then, he was greeting everybody and having a grand time, just sort of hanging out with everybody, and sort of like wandering from person to person and just say like, "Hi." So he has a limit to the number of people. Although I bet that if we have like, you know, people over every weekend, he would get used to it and then be perfectly fine. Okay, so put our video in there, which I did not want to close down because we want to copy you, because we're good with that. Am I doing Axum? Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna do the live course first. So, and I am not logged in. Okay, the last 3 times that I've done this, I've exposed my password, which has been fun. But I'm not going to do that this time. Let's see. Lunatic, hello. How are you doing today? And Opus Bopus, hello. How are you doing? All right, so that is the article up there. Perfect. You know, it's also interesting because most of the people, actually everybody who I had over is like either are currently in education space or have been in the past. And so like that's the other thing, is that we can just geek out and chat about education and all that kind of stuff. It's you know, for fun, which I think most people would be like, "What? Why are you doing this?" So that's interesting, and that led to some like interesting conversations. I was able to show off like, you know, what I have like course wise, because some of them are interested in that, hadn't seen it. Okay, so we uploaded that course, which means, oh, I should probably check it to make sure it actually looks right. That would be helpful. Okay, so Axum headers. So all right, here we go. That will obviously show up a little bit later once it's good to go. Everything's looking right. So we've got that. Excellent. Okay. So that means, let's see, that means you are done. And now it's the headers assessment we want to work on. So what do we got here? Do we have assessments? We have Axum assessments. Okay. So we've got you, and we can sort of see what's in the instructions here. I realized that I should probably just make the instructions exactly the same as the other thing. Or I mean, I probably should. I don't know if I'm going to for this one. But let's also come over here and ugh. How did I do that? Okay. I changed it from an M to a D when I wanted like MD. Okay. Finally got that working out properly. All right. Assessment repo. We should go find that. All right, so we have our link to the repo. So introduction to the assessment. So this one is going to be this assessment will test your ability. I really shouldn't use the word test. I keep on saying that I don't want to. Will help you assess your ability to work with headers in Axum. All right, skill. What do we need to do for this? I guess like, so retrieve standard headers, retrieve custom headers, set standard headers, set custom headers. Okay, so retrieve standard headers, retrieve custom headers, spawned with standard headers, respond with custom headers. To pass the assessment, you will need to do the following. Okay. So let's see. There's only one thing I think that's in here. So I'm pretty sure that we ignore everything in main. So you don't touch there. You don't touch anything in here. I don't think you even need to touch anything in a router or in mod router. I think it's going to be in these. So we have get custom and typed headers, set custom type headers, set custom headers, set header. Oh, okay. Update this route handler to get the following headers from the request and return them in a JSON object JSON header. So basically this is pretty standard stuff. So let's update these. So get custom and typed headers. Okay, so to pass the assessment, you will need to do the following. So complete the complete the challenge, the route handler. Complete the route handlers in the following files. So this is called okay, and that's a link to here. Ooh, I can copy that? Wait, does that work? Oh, that works so much better. Okay. Why am I... Oh, how did I come over here? Did I like... How did I page down that much? I don't even think I was close to page down. Okay, then the final one, set header. Okay, so we have get custom and typed headers, set custom type headers, set custom header, set header. I'm not sure that any of these are like super like harder than the others. But that'll be fine. So that's okay. With the server running, the test can be run with the command cargo test. The tests ensure that the above requirements are passing. Okay, so then everything is good here. Okay. Which means we can upload this. Okay, and that looks appropriate. Good. And those are all tabbed in, so that's excellent. Okay. Then you are good to go. So I realized something I can do now that I know like generally how many more are left. I could probably do some like not necessarily a full like time left, but I could probably do like a percentage complete somewhere, which would be nice. So like I kind of want to add in a reminder, or another feature to add into the LMS is like show off courses under construction, and how like percentage complete, or at least what stage they're in. Strike Vulture, hello. How are you doing today? What do I think about Actix? You mean Actix Web or Actix? I assume you mean Actix Web, right? The API. I used it once a long time ago before it was 1.0. It was really slow to compile, but I've heard that it's improved significantly. Okay, Actix Web, got it. Yeah, I assume it's improved significantly since I used it. I've met quite a few people that have been using it in production with high secure environments and companies, and they've been very happy with it. So it's one of the two. It's basically one of the two backend routers that I would consider for a real project. So like Axum being one of them, because I now have experience with it. They don't sort of like make any breaking changes that often. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. Also, like being part of the Tokyo team has me trust it a lot more than, something like, let's say, Rocket. Actix Web, just because it also has a pretty long history, and it has like a really good community now that are working to keep it up and running, and good security. So yeah, I think it's a great project. Multiple routers. Oh, okay. So multiple routers. So we have two things we can do here, don't we? Because there's multiple routers, and then there's so there's merging routers, then there's nested routers. We need to play around with this to because I think when my original sort of like looking through is like, oh yeah, I can just do like groupings of routes, but I think that this is more of like, okay, I want to do separate routes for different things. This one's not going to have an assessment associated with it, which is fine. So let's copy our template to Axum multiple routers. All right. Sometimes we want to actually, let's like not have that in there until like we finish it up, because we don't necessarily know what we're doing with this. All right. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to. So like my understanding so far is that create multiple routers and sort of combine them together into a single router. So separate out sections of an application of your app with their own routers. Combine multiple routers together into a single router. So there's merge, and then there's nest. So then that last thing would be nest. I need to look up how nest works before I know what the objectives are. So we'll play around with that. So let's create something. And I guess now that I'm done with this one, we don't need you anymore. We can just take over you. So multiple routers. Anyways, Strike, did that answer your question? I hope it did, because I sort of like stopped talking about it a while ago. Collins Mara, hello. How are you doing today? Let's see. So we got, oh, right. It's in lessons Axum. There we go. Are you doing pretty good? Awesome. That's good to hear. Thank you. Oh, Zilby, you finally found the food that I put down here to attract you. We'll see if he jumps up on the table. I also put a tree next to me on the right, next to the heater. So he has like 2 official places to now come and hang out. And we'll see whether or not he enjoys any of those. All right, this is going to be Axum. Well, I guess I could, should I call it? Yeah, I should probably call it like the full thing, right? So Axum, so new Axum multiple routers. All right, and then see, I want to do a cargo watch. All right, let's get things installed. We're gonna cargo add. Let's see. Obviously, Axum. I don't know if I need headers on this one, but always nice to have the macros. Silpy, hi. Want to check out your new tree? And by new, I mean I just literally changed the location from one room to another. Okay, I think he's gonna hang out here, so let's get the camera over. Are you gonna hang out here? No? Okay, you're gonna walk. Exploration kitty time. All right, you want to go hang out at your normal place? Maybe? Okay. Let's see if this catches it. Sort of. That kind of works. Hi. All right, so let's see. We got Axum installed. We need Tokyo. We need I like to do air. Tracing and subscriber. Oh, and the to print out everything, I want to tower HTTP. And .env. Which we just need the macro for it because we are going to grab we're going to touch a .env here. I want so you get that random port number. So what was that? That was random port. Let's see. Sample, example, example. You know what I should do? I should probably just make it so that the random port function actually just creates the .env and adds the port to it, or just like appends to the .env file. That might be better because I don't have to do anything. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll do that next time, and I'll probably forget and just do this again and think about that project again next time. But okay, let's see. We have you. Then we want a new file. So we want okay, so this is where potentially we come up with a different route thing. So right now we have, this is our project sort of organization. If I want two completely different route type things here, what would that end up looking like? So I actually want to do this as sub crates instead. I might want to actually do this as like different crates. Is that light too bright for you behind Zilby? I hope not. You get to see one of his favorite positions that he likes to do, which is ironically just lay his head or other body parts off of things wherever he is and just sort of let them hang, which is interesting. It makes more sense when it's like his tail or a leg, but it's a little bit weirder to see when he does his head. Okay, so what's the scenario that we should do? I can do an authentication scenario. It feels like boring. We could do a like unrelated little routes, as if we're creating like a monorepo, which is like a lot of logic in it. And so we have one that's just like a bunch of like almost like the Lambda style functions, like utility functions that are available to a variety of front ends. And then we have like our main app that could work. So if I have something like our main app, then that would have the routes here, right? So we're still going to have a route. I might not have anything else in here though. Maybe. It sort of depends. Oh, and I can't really create this until I have everything else, do I? Pixel Esports, hello. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. It's a Monday. I think today's Veterans Day in the United States, right? Um, Now that I'm a contractor, I don't get holidays, so I'm finding it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna miss all the holidays. Like I'm just gonna like they're gonna sneak up on me, and I'm not gonna be aware of them, and it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so we got that routes, and then you're up here, so we're gonna have the pub function create router. You're doing good, awesome. That's great to hear. Okay, you should be good to go there, and then I need to update our main router. Okay, so I think that's everything we need. So then back to library. And let's see. So we have our new function. I also want a run function. Oh, I keep on doing this. I don't know why. I keep on forgetting the keyword fn when I'm creating a function. Like I tell myself out loud even, I'm creating a function, and then I just forget that. And then I wonder like why nothing is working. Um okay, so we have our run function. Okay, so probably saying run. I want to. What do I want to do with it? I want to. I want to do something. My brain is blanking out with this. Okay, I need to create. Oh, probably start tracing subscriber, which I realize I could probably just be doing in here, and it's probably just works better here. So let's just do. We'll set up tracing subscriber. Format in it. So that starts everything up, and then when I run, we're going to create the router first. let's see. So if I do that, router address, I think those are the two things. Then we'll start the server. Why are you upset? This function, oh, right. I forgot to pass the tuple. Okay. So last thing would be main. Okay, so we get that. You're gonna yell at me until you know what that is, but that's gonna be coming up right now. Let's see, and then the report we have that. Then we're just gonna run the app. Okay, so then you're fine. Then I think I forgot one last thing that I like to do here is do a tracing info. And so we see that up on the right. Okay, over on the right, we have the server running and import that. If I want that text to always like show me like a debug information too, and not just that, I need to update. Right. So I need to do this where it's like export rust log equals debug. So I want to take you. I have exports, don't I? Export. Not really. That's it, isn't it? So let's do just sort of random environment variables. So this would be like Rust debug for tracing and other printing, like logging. Yet another coder. Hello. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Awesome. Hopefully it is helping. Okay, so Lessons, multiple. Okay, yeah. So for this, I want to say that I have. Oh, that's not that's not gonna find it in there. I have some in my ZSH config. I have install. I have upload local. That's what it is. I want to upload local. Okay. I was alarm over there. Okay, got it. I actually don't know if you could hear that or not, but I could hear it. It was loud. And Zilby was very concerned. Zilby, it's okay. Okay, so oh, empty commit message. So I think what I could do is I could do upload local and then give it a commit message. And so this one is adding Rust log environment variable. And so that pushes up. So that's an easy way for me to keep the GitHub ZSHRC up to date, and then I can easily pull that down for my other profiles and get that going. So don't need to worry about that. And then what that really means is that I can come over here, stop this, resource my ZSHRC, and then relaunch you, and now I get well, I still just get the info, don't I? I'm hoping, okay, so let's double check. If I turn this into a debug, yep, okay, so that is working. Okay, so this is the beginning. Now we need to figure out what the story is. Like what's the example? Like what are we going with here? So we have a server with like multiple things that are like not necessarily related to each other. I think that's the big thing. Like what's a sample app that we can make? We doing a lot of game storage. We could do a quote collector. That might be good, like a quote collector. We could do dogs and cats, but those are kind of the same thing, aren't they? Like they're just different pets, pet food that we're buying, shopping list. With different types of shopping lists. I kind of like, what did I have in, I had in there something I liked. A quote list. I kind of like the quote list idea. That would be something like I want to store, okay, so we're going to collect CRUD quotes, but then also I want unrelated routes for like other things. Like I have Lambda functions, but I don't want to pay for Lambda functions, so I'm already paying for this server. I would want to put all of them in here, but I don't want to like pollute the routes. So what I would potentially want to do is we'll say, okay, in routes, we'll have like maybe quotes CRUD. Oh, okay, so like this is how I can do like different routes in here. So we could do quotes crud. Do I want this as like a different folder? Maybe I don't do a different folder. Maybe I just do like so I can touch like quotes here. Like that. Interesting. I had to open it up before it saw it. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought because I touched the file, it already existed on disk. It should have known that it was there, but it didn't. Okay. So with quotes crud, we'd throw in our routes into here somewhere. So let's just create like, I don't know, some basic routes. So pub async function, just be like create quote. So we'll do something like create quote, get all quotes, get one quote, update quote, and delete quote. Okay, so if I do something like I want in our API, if I do something like API, oh, and I probably this is where I could have like another router for the quotes, wouldn't I? Just to make it a little bit simpler, right? So I want something like API slash like quotes, and then like yeah, let's say we do this, like we have API slash quotes slash like create quotes. Oh, it'd be API quotes. And this would be a post, which then we throw the create quote in there like that. So that would be one of them, right? But we can see like, oh, I'm just gonna have to rewrite this API quotes over there. If I ever decide like, you know what, this API thing is stupid, I wanna just like do that. Instead, I have to do that to all of them. I want like a prepended thing to it. That's where this comes in. And then the other one is going to merge in too. So we have, this is where nested and merge are two different things. So I think we can do a nest here. So path would be slash, if we do like API quotes. And I think we can do multiple nests, right? It's like I could just do like another nest over around this. We'll test that out. And then you're missing, what are you missing? A router. So you need to create a new router for this. So then let's come back into quotes and we can I can create a router for it in here, or I could just create a router in here. Router new, and then we'll have maybe for like this one we'll start with just like, hey, we're creating the routes inside of this one. So router new route, and it's like this is slash on top of quote, so it's the beginning of it, and then this will be the post of create quote. Right? So I don't need that one at all anymore. Nest is happy, and now I can come to, so there's that one, there's that one. So inside of this one, we do another one. So this will be another route. This will be to also slash, and then you'll be a get to get all quotes. There it goes. Okay. Okay, much better. It finally like multi-lined it for me. That made it nice for us to like now add on multiple things. You have a comma here. Why do we have a comma? Because we can put another stuff into nest, but we don't really need it here. So we'd want to do something like this to add more. So we can just do more routes. So like slash, so this would be slash okay, so create and get all are the only ones that just go on slash, and then we want slash ID, and then we can start doing our like delete. That's not what I wanted. I wanted that's not getting the method router, is it? Thank you for that. And then this would be delete route, delete quote. I could even do multiple in here, couldn't I? I could then nest this again and doubly nest it so I don't have to repeat the ID here over and over and over again. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with, let's actually create it as a starting thing. So I'll create a bunch of quotes here, and then we'll nest, then we'll like the lesson will be to like showing a refactoring of it. So a route slash quotes, we'll do a post first. Okay, so if we start with this, we can also start with some unrelated things too. So like let's create another thing in here. Let's maybe call them like utils. Maybe not utils, because like these are functions that you might call from the outside. They don't have anything to do with quotes, or maybe even if they do, they're not like touching quotes here. They're like independent one-off functions. Think of them as like Lambda functions, but in your own code. So instead of like Lambda, they're just like, oh, let's just go and like do this one thing. And maybe it just goes out and hits the database and does something. Maybe it like does something else. Who knows? So like miscellaneous or something. I don't know. Let's touch. I'm pretty sure that's how to spell it. So let's do like miscellaneous one. Wait, what am I doing? I'm trying to copy you. Hey. Oh, you don't get new lines? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, hold on. We'll do 3 of these. Oh, I copied them without changing the names. Okay, so we have those ones, and now we want more routes for these. And then this will be like, hey, for these miscellaneous ones that like just don't have anything to do with our app, we want to extract them out and throw them into a different crate. They can still be part of this crate, but it's going to be like a workspace. We'll create a workspace for this crate, this project. So slash like miscellaneous one. I created that as a character. Xanax, hello. How are you doing today? Did I just change it to the same thing? I did not want to do that. Okay, hold on. Nope, stop. I want to select that, select 2, changed 3. That was a weird autopilot. Let's see. You finished a script for finding all images where our faces and scaled just the faces. That feels like it's going to create really weird images, but also interesting and cool and like what is that called when like you look at something and it looks like just really creepy and weird and like it just like bothers you? Uncanny valley. It feels like you're creating like an image that's gonna like trigger the uncanny valley response, which like sounds like a lot of fun to do, especially if you like don't blow them up too much, just like a tiny bit. That'd be great. No, you just play around. I mean, it still sounds like a lot of fun. But like all those image type things, like it feels like you can do some really cool art. I've always loved that kind of stuff. I just never have time to really play with it. Okay, so this is gonna be our starting point. So obviously if we hit these, everything's gonna be fine. So I wonder if I should throw in some tracing type stuff in here, so we can see that respond out. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Played around with some LLM AIs this weekend, which is still a thing that I'm trying to get better at. And that's a lot of fun. Although I should be programming on the LMS itself, so I'm probably gonna just go back to like doing that when I can, when I have time. But yeah, everything's good. Ooh, you don't find that, so I have to like do that. Okay, that works. Then we will. Okay, so I want to return, let's just return a string. No, we can return a static string. That, I wanted to go inside of it. I missed it. Okay, so then once we're inside of here, I want to grab you. So we're just gonna return a static string of hello from there. We get that. And I want to do the same thing to miscellaneous. Okay, so then this should all work, which means that if I open up Insomnia, we should be able to, so do a get request, what's our port? 3407. We have quotes. Then we have hello from get all quotes. If I do like a post to this, sure, I'll let you update later. Hello from create quotes. If we do miscellaneous, they're all gets, aren't they? Oh, miscellaneous then one, right? You're not happy. 404. Oh, it was slash. Slash. So it'd be one like that. There we go. Hello from that. And then we can just update you based upon which one we want. So like 2. We get 2. Am I ready for Black Friday? I am not a big partaker in Black Friday. I don't think I've ever. I think the the one time in the last few years that I went shopping out on Black Friday, it was by accident because I forgot that it was Black Friday. Like because we didn't have any family over for Thanksgiving. We didn't like do any like really big dinner or anything else. We just had like a normal dinner. I mean, it was a slightly more fancy than normal. And then like the next day I'm like, well, I'm not working, so I have the day off. Let's go out and like, do some like, like get some normal like shopping done. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah, no, I don't want to be out here. This is not fun. And then I went home. So, I'm not a Black Friday person. I also like noticed that a lot of places, I don't have proof of it, but I think a lot of places are artificially inflating prices over the last month or so. So that way they can put them back to normal on Black Friday, and they're great deals because they're the normal price, but they're marked off by like a pretty large percentage. I don't know if they're like actually doing that, but I have a suspicion that some of the stores do. Okay, so we want merge and nest. So this is separate out sections of your app with their own routers. We have combined multiple routers together into a single route. So basically, separate section app with their own routers. Combine multiple routers together with merge. And then I probably should take a look at the actual definition of the for Axum between nest and merge to know which one to use in which situation. So you have merge off of the router. Okay, so merge two routers into one. This is useful for breaking apps into smaller pieces and combining them into one. When combining routers with this method, each router must have the same type of state. If your routers have different types, you can use router with state to provide the state and make the types match. Oh, so this is how you can do like different states for the different routers. Ooh, okay. That could be interesting. If two routers that each have a fallback are merged, this is because router this is okay. So I get what they're trying to say here. It just is like a little bit weird, strangely written, but okay. This is going to panic if you attempt to merge two different routers that have a different fallback. No, that have their own fallback because you're only allowed to have a single fallback. The parent router can only have that. And then we have nest. Let's take a look at nest next. Nest a router at some path. This allows you to break your application into smaller pieces and compose them together, which, I mean, is not that different sounding than the other one. How the URI changes. Notice that nested routers will not see the original request URI, but instead have to match prefix stripped. This is necessary for services like static file serving to work. Take care when using nest together with dynamic routes, as nesting also captures the outer routes. I think that's the big difference between merge, right? Nested routes are similar to wildcard routes. The difference is that wildcard routes still see the whole URI, whereas nested routes will have the prefix stripped. So it sees like I'm on / quotes. If a nested router doesn't have its own fallback, then it will inherit the fallback from the outer router. Okay. When combining routers with this method, each router must have the same type of state. Okay, you could do router state for different ones. Note that the inner router will still inherit the fallback. Okay, all that stuff. They have 3 different times where they can panic. If the route overlaps with another route, you can't do that. If the route contains a wildcard, interesting. Okay, and if the path is empty. Oh, and then merging is like right next to it. It's like right there. So this is routing. Can we see, like, is there any other definitions? Not really. Yeah, it doesn't really say much for the rest of it. So I think what we'll have to do to understand this fully so I can write this properly, we need to play with it. It's perfect. Let's get a snapshot of this. All right, so this is going to be basically like a step, like this is flat routes created. And I want to, what do I want to do with this? I want to probably create another branch, probably create a branch that I could just do some like playing around with, and I can just delete that branch and we're good to go. Or I could just not commit this at the end, but I don't trust myself not to like just automatically commit it out of habit. So let's do a get branch. It's not get branch anymore. It's not get switch. We're going to switch to branch. What do we want to call this? Let's play with, we can do nesting first or merging first. Let's try nesting. Okay, so with nesting, we want to come to these routes and we want to sort of like break them off into their own things. So what I probably want to do, Hamza, hello, how are you doing today? What I probably want to do is create a folder, quotes, a directory. I'm doing good, thank you. It's a Monday, but it's also, you know, things are good. Had a good weekend, so happy to be here, hanging out with all of you, doing some Rust code. I didn't code at all this weekend. Okay, so if I want to nest this all, let's break off quotes into their own thing. You're doing good? Excellent. That's good to hear. Okay, so let's take quotes. I want to, okay, so we have mod quotes, but now it's going to be different, right? Now we have to move the quotes.rs into either mod or their own things, don't I? Oh, Xenix, who's this Hamza guy? Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but Restream Bot is showing. So Hamza is over on YouTube. So that's yeah, we're streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And Restream Bot is like, I don't know, hit or miss, pretty like very hit or miss on like whether or not it actually puts the chat messages into, like, you know, the other service. Let's see, what am I doing now? Let's see. So Right now, I am working on an Axum course. So if you're familiar with Rust and Axum, or if you're unfamiliar with it, it's a backend API framework. Think something like Flask with Python, Express with Node. I don't really know any other ones that are like sort of like simpler, like on the simpler side for the other languages. I wouldn't go so far as saying it's like Django, because Django does a lot more for you. So that's we're creating a course for that. And right now we're looking at sort of like nesting routers and sort of like doing that and creating a course, creating a lesson for it. And so let's see, routes. So I can move all the quotes into there, but I feel like I might want to break those quotes out anyways. And so like let's go into quotes mod and we'll do a pub function create quote routes. You're not happy. Why are you not happy? Let's see, pub. I actually remember the name function. Create quote routes. Return a route. Is it router? Oh, file not included in the create hierarchy. Is that because I forgot to save you? No. It's not because I forgot to save you. It's because this quote here is not happy. So I need to grab you. I did not need to global copy that. We're gonna come into here. I'll just paste you down there for right now. And then that way we can remove quotes that are S, and then that will make this happier. Which I think I need to restart you because it's going to be upset. Let's see. So is Actix more like Django? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but it's been long enough that I've used it that I can't say for certain. When I used Actix, I would say like it was also more like Express, Flask, meaning that it provides you a way to just like have a CRUD sort of JSON API, like any kind of like HTML API that can be hit from any web server, any other service, not just like necessarily web. And it was really fast. And Django does like more. It tries to be more templatey, setting stuff up for you. Like everything's included, and you don't need to like pull in other libraries to sort of get things going. So it's more of a, it's much more I don't know if I like to use the word unopinionated, but I think a lot of people do. It's more unopinionated, I guess, of like what you do to set up everything like Django does. But as I mentioned, it's been several versions. They have like 2 or 3 different releases now since I've taken a look at it, and it may have grown a lot since then. So I would not be surprised if maybe it's now closer to Django. Do I design web applications? Or do I design applications? When I build something, I usually design it myself, and that means, so I guess in that case, sure, yeah, I totally design things. They're not very well designed. They're not good designs, if that makes sense. For the LMS that I created, I hired a designer. So I actually know I have a couple friends who are in the design space, And so for one of them, he was looking for some side work, and so I hired him to design this for me. And so that's where like all of this design comes from. You wanted to create something with access. Yeah, do it. I bet it's I mean, it's supposed to be super fast and fairly like, you know, good to use, and it's very popular. So yeah, absolutely. And if you do, you can let us know if it's closer to if it's like more like a bigger than just sort of like a plain XAPI APIs. Why am I saying XAPI? That's like an education, like I've made those servers in the past. I don't like them. I don't want to create an XAPI server. An API server, which I guess is like just sort of normal, par for the course. Or if it's more like Django, which gives you an API server plus extras. Or like maybe it just sort of gets you more. Why are you still upset? You should not be upset. We have quotes mod. Okay, so you should tell me where. Fine. We will use Axum router. Uh-oh. Mismatch types. Expected struct router. Oh, okay. So if I do router new. Okay. Never used. Okay, so then if I come back to here, I actually want to then for this one say like, okay, we do route. So if I do some like quotes, so what I actually probably want to do is something like this, right? Slash goes here, and then you would be like a post. I am not happy that this is not helping me out at all. That's usually a bad sign. Let's get this wired up. So not there. Oh, because I have wait, do I still have the oh, you still think that this exists. Let me buffer close you. So that opens up that route, that quotes, okay. Then what I want to do is I want to pull all of these here, delete them, come over here, post them in here like that, and then everywhere that we have a quotes, we want to search. I want to search for maybe slash quotes like that. We delete you. There, okay. There we go. Okay, now we're getting no, don't import box me up. I want get. So get that. Import routing get. Import put. Import delete. Okay, so that's all happy now. Back to you again. So then I want so we're gonna try, we're doing nesting first. Okay, so we're doing we're gonna nest slash quotes, and then the router is gonna be the create quote router routes like that. There we go. Okay, then theoretically everything's still running. I should be able, like, nothing should have changed, right? I should still be able to hit this. Now these don't change at all because they're just miscellaneous, right? But I should be able to go to quotes And like this is still get all quotes. Great, like quotes, like, and that does hello from get one quote. Okay, so that works sort of the way we expect it to. So that's good. We want to maybe play with state a little bit just to make sure that it's what we expect. It's like the things that we know about, like state. I think that's gonna be it. Oh, and also making sure that the trace layers are working properly, because I'm not seeing that hit over here. I should be seeing those. So I'm not 100% certain why I'm not seeing that get hit. So we will play around with that. If I do miscellaneous, I don't think that hits either, right? I am seeing that. Okay, so here's miscellaneous 1. We see that get hit over here. And if I go to quote, nope. Okay, I'm seeing that too. So I'm seeing that this trace is hitting everything inside of this nested routes too. Okay, so that makes sense. Cool. All right. That's all that fun stuff. There's not too many of us right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. I will be back later today at around 2:30 p.m. To continue working on this. Let's go ahead and get this saved. I'm gonna commit this because we're not finished looking through this one yet. And I don't want anything to happen to this code, so let's go ahead and get we're gonna status. All right, so we're in the nesting route. We're in the nesting okay, so we are nesting quotes. I can't push this anywhere, can I? No, I can't. Let's switch to, just in case, I'm gonna do a GitHub repo create from this. So create it from that. Go. Axum multiple routers, that's fine. Builds, description, empty is fine. Yes. 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 And then if I get switch to nesting, you aren't set up, so let's just origin nesting. That way I have that up on GitHub in case something goes wrong, goes horrifically wrong, and I have to like switch over to something else. Okay, so now that's all backed up. You're all good. I will be ready to come back to this later today. Let's shut you down so you're not just taking up all my battery. And then you're good here. I've got you saved and pushed up, and then you're good. Let's make sure that this is saved and sent up. Okay, so we have new file. So, oh, I apparently updated, oh yeah, updated headers, and I'm creating multiple routers, and then, oh, the headers assessment, right, yes. So, we uploading, so like creating, this is a private repo anyways, so the messages don't matter that much. Creating articles. Sure, that's a perfect name. That will not confuse me in the future. Absolutely not. Okay, so awesome. I think we're good to go. Here, let me put up the ending screen. here is the schedule. So as I mentioned, I will be streaming every single day this week at 7 a.m. Mountain Time and at 2:30 p.m. Mountain. We're in Standard Time, so Mountain Standard Time, which I think I may have been wrong all summer with the GMT -6. I think now I might be correct with GMT -6. Sorry about that. I think we're correct now. But yeah, so 2:30 p.m. For about 2 hours this afternoon, and the plan is to do that every day this week. So with that, have a great rest of your Monday, and if I see you this afternoon, I will see you this afternoon. Otherwise, see you next time. Bye.